goes in motion to the far sideline. Emmel looking to pass. Little screen play to Gavin.
Black.
Yep. So creates an opportunity here for Klinicki, who finds the opening there.
Beard goes in motion to the far sideline. Emmel looking to pass. Little screen play to Gavin French. He's got some room to work over there on the far sideline. Dives forward, and he will have the first down on that diving effort.
Inside to Kraus. Big bucket, Avery Kraus. Big bucket. Intercepts the pass. Billies have a chance here to add to their lead. Kramer feeling it. Another three. Drained it. 3 3-pointers in the first half for Trapper. Kramer gives the Billies.
Deep breath. Here's the pitch. There's a shot. That could be gone. That's out of here. How about a home run by Sam Robinson? That's home. How do you end the game?
He's ready to go. Danny winds, kicks, deals, and there's a ball game. He's going to hit.
Welcome to another Billies.Live production. Find us on your favorite social sites and apps. Like, subscribe, and get notified when we go live.
Black Chalk Home and Laundry is one of the most unique home decor and gift boutiques in the Texas Hill Country. Come get lost in the found and unbound items that surprise and delight you around every turn. Steeped in history, our building will take you back to a bygone era that delights the senses. Black Chalk Home and Laundry, a happy place filled with the found and unbound. Come, discover yourself, and love your home.
Los Cazadores is the stop for hunters to gear up and get ready for season. The store in Stonewall, Texas has been remodeled and stocked with guns, ammo, feeders, blinds, and much more. Los Cazadores has the top archery products, offering expert experience with an on-site 3D range. Bucks are brought in from all around to be scored with trophy scan technology and entered into our contest. Stop in and sign up for the world's largest whitetail hunting contest.
Nature and beauty along the fairways at Lady Bird have a way of slowing life down. While the front nine features significant elevation changes and the tranquility of Live Oak Creek, the back nine stuns with its panoramic vistas of the surrounding hills. As the home of the Fredericksburg Junior Golf Foundation and the Fredericksburg Middle School and High School golf teams, all of us at Lady Bird Johnson Golf Course are proud to support our community's tradition of excellence. Lady Bird Johnson Golf Course. Practice, play your way.
72 Degrees Air Conditioning and Heating offers a wide variety of services to Fredericksburg and the Hill Country. Repairs, installation, maintenance, design, even air quality control for allergies. 72 Degrees Air Conditioning and Heating, Fredericksburg's comfort company. Fast, same-day service and world-class technicians make 72 Degrees Fredericksburg's company of choice. Emergency service 24/7. Call 830-997-5651. 72degreestexas.com. License number TACLB 27138E.
Strayer and Ulfers, from humble beginnings to a Fredericksburg mainstay. When Edgar Strayer purchased an oil and gas business in 1928, he may not have envisioned it would still thrive nearly a century later. Guiding through the Great Depression, he built a clientele of area farmers with a firm handshake and friendly service. 2 succeeding generations still run the business. Roy Strayer and his sister Betty are mainstays around their shop on Adams Street, where their sons Steve, Charles, and Edward service the needs of thousands of locals and visitors alike. Strayer and Ulfers, a Fredericksburg institution.
For over 7 decades, and with the support of customers like you, Ewald Kubota has grown to be the #1 Kubota volume dealer in the United States. Plus, we have the distinct honor of being a Kubota Elite dealer. So thank you, Jim, Julio, Jamar, Mr. Loya, Mike, Letty, Mr. Rodriguez, Paul and Penny, Thomas and Catherine, Mr. Miranda. From the Gulf of Mexico to the Hill Country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
And good morning. Here we are. It's game day, baby. Woo! Game day Friday. Time for coffee with
Big
Coach.
crowd today. Big crowd.
We got us a big old crowd.
Yeah.
Had to pull out some extra chairs.
No
by
doubt.
golly.
No doubt.
Definitely big.
That's good stuff.
Oh, man, it's going to be great. Coach, you got to be all smiles ear to ear. Playoffs this year, already in the playoffs, but playing for a 2-seed tonight.
Yep.
You took care of business big time on the road against Taylor.
Yeah.
41-16, pushing that district record to 3-1. Life is good.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, life is good, right? No. Like you say, food
good.
Tastes better. Everything's better when you're winning.
Everything's better when you're winning, that's for sure. No, the kids did a great job. Coaches did a great job. Last week in Taylor, we 41-16 victory on the road, clinched the playoff spot. 5-16 district. If you win 3 games, there's mathematically really not a way for you not to make the playoffs. So you want to get to that point as quick as you can in a district race, and so we were able to get there, and it was really good. Really good to
push
be there
through
for
it.
sure.
When was the last playoff appearance before this
18, one? 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
19, 2 years ago. We played El Campo in the first round. Played Lampasas for the district championship same night as we're playing them this year. Last week of the season, they were undefeated. We were undefeated in district, and we played them out here, and it was a great night. And we came up a little short and finished second. And had to go play a really tough El Campo team in Bastrop, and fell short on that deal. But yeah, no, it's a great week to be in the playoffs for sure. All smiles for sure.
Yeah,
everything tastes better. Everything's better.
A lot of highlights in that game. Not too many lowlights.
We started slow. That's I don't know if that's our MO when we go to Taylor. I'll blame it on the 3-hour drive, I guess. Coach forgot to make a restroom stop as well. I'm riding on the bus, and I get a text message from Cade Yinsky, who's on the other bus, and he says, "Coach, did you plan a restroom stop for us?"
Or do I need to wear Depends on the next trip? I'm like, asking for a friend.
I'm like, oh no! Amongst all of my planning, I forgot to plan a restroom strip, and then so we're gonna find the next place to stop to go to the restroom, and everything's on the other side of the highway. And so I text Cade back and I said, "Cade, we'll be okay to just keep going." Yes, sir, we'll be okay. So anyway, whatever it is, it's a tough place to play. We played there multiple times. They have a new stadium, new to us. I guess we've only played there twice, but prior to that, we played at their old stadium in the city park. They called it the Duck Pond, and it was kind of a sloppy, messy place, and it always was muddy, and so we didn't play well there either. So we've always struggled playing well at Taylor, and so we wanted to get over that. We started slow. First couple of plays, man, we're rattling off 10 yards, 14 yards, whatever, and then we fumble, and they get the ball back and they go score, and so it's like, what are we doing? Let's not let's calm down and relax, and we settled in, and one of the things that I've said a couple times this week is, our team, their confidence in each other and their belief in each other and their love of each other from a coaching and a player perspective is pretty good.
And it's evident.
Well,
you can see it.
No, there's no doubt. And nobody got rattled, say me, probably. I'd like to admit that I didn't get rattled, but I would be lying if I did that. So I got a little upset at that point because I'm like, your human nature says, here we go again, that kind of thing. And so the kids were like, Coach, we got it. We're good. Don't worry about it. We got this. And so they went out and performed. The coaches did too. We made a couple of adjustments. And I don't know if they stopped us the rest of the night. We moved the ball up and down the field the rest of the night. They were able to do a pretty good job. Coach Houston, shout out to him. He's doing a really good job. You take over a program like he did. It was they were 0-20 the last 2 years. You're just trying to put something together, and I thought they did a good job. They're coaching the kids hard. They're playing hard. They've got some talented kids, but when you're in that situation, you got a lot to overcome. So shout out to him for what they did. But our guys knuckled down and got after it and finished the game the right way. So,
absolutely, finish strong.
Yeah,
that's what you want to do. You
want in all three phases. We played really well. Give up 16 points, and
Well, the defense is playing great.
No, they are. I mean, they're playing really good. Coach Wilder and his group's got those guys going. They're playing really hard. Gary and Logan are kind of the anchors of that deal, and they made some big plays.
And the secondary's strong.
Secondary's
doing a great job.
I will go on them. I've said this several times. Most improved group on defense is a secondary. Early in the season, we're giving up a lot of big pass plays, and those kids worked really hard. Coach Stafford in those corners and Coach Wilder and those safeties have worked really, really hard to improve at what they do, and they've gotten a lot better at it. We're breaking up some big plays down the field, and we're in the right position.
Getting some picks, few pick six.
You and I've talked about this before. There's two groups on the field that when you make a mistake, everybody in the stadium knows that it's your fault, and that's the cornerbacks and the offensive line. Like when the quarterback gets sacked, everybody in the stadium knows it's the O-line's fault, right? And it's not always the O-line's fault. It might have been the back that didn't block, or it might have been the receiver didn't run the right route, so there was nobody to throw to. And you were supposed to throw the ball on time, and you didn't deliver it on time, and so you got sacked. But same way with the corner, you get beat deep. Everybody in the stadium knows that you got beat deep. And sometimes, in the nature of today's game, the ball is thrown around so well. Quarterbacks are so good, wide receivers are so good that sometimes they just throw the ball in the right place, and the guy can be all over him, and if the ball's thrown in the right place, it's a completion. So
much is timing, right?
Yeah.
And Emil's doing a great job with the clock in his head.
He is.
You can't, if you're a quarterback, you don't want to hold on to the ball too long, or you may get sacked. But he's doing a great job of.
Well, we talked about that earlier. He said to us earlier, I like to foreshadow or whatever, but after the Navarro scrimmage, I think he told Coach Huff and Coach Gibbs that things have slowed down for him.
Right.
And when the guy pulling the trigger and the guy calling the plays and the guy making the adjustments says that, then as a coach you get a big smile on your face because you're like, okay, this is going to be fun. And it has been, and he's operated the offense really well. And so, yeah, I mean, it was a good night, and those guys improved. The defense played well. Our special teams did a good job. I love our little kicker, Giovanni. He does a great job putting the ball where we need it. We've improved our kick coverage. We've improved our punt coverage. We've gotten better in all three phases of the game as we move through the year. And so that's what you want to be doing.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah, no question.
You betcha. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back at Barefoot. Get your Battlin Billy gear right here. They got a lot of great stuff. 108 East Main, Fredericksburg. Come check it out. Don't forget Wednesday is local day, too. You get 20% off. That's a heck of a deal. I like it. Barefoot, 108 East Main.
That's it.
Coffee with Coach. We'll be right back.
Hill Country Refrigeration has been providing the Texas Hill Country with quality heat and air conditioning service, installation, and repair for 47 years. They offer dependable, friendly, and professional customer service. Robert and Clara Ann Almers founded Hill Country Refrigeration in 1974, but have been enjoying Battlin Billies sports for a lifetime. The Almers family are born and raised Billy fans. 4 generations, that is. Hill Country Refrigeration, where customizing comfort is their award-winning game. From one winning team to another, best of luck, Billies.
We love living in the country. My husband works from home, and I teach our 5 youngest children here as well. Fast, uncapped, reliable internet is critical for our family. And that's exactly what we've gotten from Bee Creek for over 10 years now. Bee Creek Communications. Always on, high-speed internet. Creek Street Dental utilizes the latest technologies in dental care. Dr. McBride has been specially trained to offer the Hill Country sedation dentistry. Anxious patients can sleep through oral surgery in a private room with family nearby. Their CBCT machine provides near-silent imaging, making possible the most painless and effective treatments. iTero technology allows virtual manipulation and modeling, so no more gagging on impression trays. Call 830-990-1178 for the best in your family's dental health today.
Gaddy's Pizza in Fredericksburg is a huge supporter of Battlin Billies sports, students, and teachers. In fact, Gaddy's offers a lunch special for teachers and students Monday through Friday for only $7.65, and that includes a drink. Gaddy's Pizza also has pasta, dessert, and one of the best salad bars in town. Enjoy the game room. Kids of all ages love it. Gaddy's takes pizza seriously. 2931 Highway 16 South in Fredericksburg. Billy Pride Iberales.
Segner's is your jewelry destination for everyday and special occasion jewelry. Just ask Olympic gold medalist in women's softball, Kat Osterman. She trusts Segner's. Find us at 236 West Main Street or on the web at segnersjewelers.com. Come check out our custom-designed Billy's charms, keychains, and so much more. We love and support our hometown teams. Go Billies!
This broadcast is supported by Votive Hospice, a family-owned hospice founded by Fredericksburg natives. Votive Hospice is Fredericksburg's only Joint Commission accredited hospice. They're also Fredericksburg's first community-based palliative care, which means their team can help you or your loved one prior to needing hospice at no cost to you or your family. Votive is led by Dr. Rad Kothman and certified hospice and palliative care nurse Carrie Weaver. Visit votivehospice.com or call 998-1925. Votive Hospice, they're with you.
And we are back. Coffee with Coach Lance Moffet, JD Rose with you here at Barefoot, 108 East Main, Fredericksburg. I'm going to wish my baby girl, well, she's not a baby anymore. She's 19 today.
19.
Happy
birthday to Ella.
Happy birthday, Ella. You betcha.
Hey, Coach, give me a little time out here. Chris Beckendorf on the chat, Rob Harris on the chat. Chris says, good morning, gentlemen. It's going to be Billies all the way, says Rob Harris. Yes, sir, Mr. Harris, it is.
Awesome.
Chris Beckendorf.
That's all right, bring it. Yeah. We appreciate y'all chiming in and
that's
tuning
awesome.
in today.
That's good stuff. No doubt.
3-1 in district.
No doubt.
Playoff spot locked. We talked about that.
Yep.
How does the rest of the district? How's the rest of the district shaping up?
You know, it's a jumbled up mess. How about that? Just win, baby, is the mantra. So if us and Canyon Lake win, then there's no jumbled up mess. We're second, Canyon Lake's third, Lampasas is fourth. Last week when we beat Taylor, Canyon Lake beat Lampasas 21-17. They gained 4 points ahead for the tiebreaker situation. So we have 3 points on Canyon Lake. Canyon Lake has 4 points on Lampasas. We win tonight, the points don't matter.
2 seed, right? Playing for a 2 seed.
Playing for a 2 seed. We'll be the 2 seed. The other district shapes up with Bernie in first. Congratulations to them. Somerset is second, and then third and fourth are playing each other tonight for third. So it's Pleasanton versus Lavernia in Lavernia tonight for third place. So our 1 plays their 4, which is LBJ playing whoever loses that game. Our 2, which will be us, will play their 3, which will be the winner of that Lavernia Pleasanton game. And then our 3 will play Somerset. And that's how it kind of shapes out. So
you've had some great teams since you got here. But what sets this team apart from the rest? You mentioned the chemistry, and they love each other. I mean, you've had that in past teams, but what sets this team apart from the rest?
You know, I think mostly experience. You know, last year during the COVID year, we'll call it that, we basically had 3 seniors that started last year. Shout out to Rob Zuberbuehler, Gavin French, Davis Englert. And some of the seniors played a lot. You know, Trip Dennis played a lot. But a lot of the younger guys got a lot of playing time last year and against good competition. And so, you know, I think experience is everything. When we came out of last season, we had 9 offensive guys that had started at least 1 ball game, and we had 9 defensive guys that had started at least 1 ball game. Minus those seniors, Gavin and Rob both played both ways.
Right.
So they were 2 spots on each side of the ball, or 1 spot each on each side of the ball. And then Tripp started and made some huge plays, and Davis Englert did a good job and did some things. And we had a couple other seniors that contributed really well. But a lot of these younger guys got to play a lot, and so that experience, game speed, and all that stuff is probably the biggest thing. And then just being hungry. Coming out of last season, you know, they want to do something. You know, we talk about it every year. You want to leave a legacy of what you did, and it's all about the seniors. There's 24 kids in this senior class. They've faced a lot of adversity already. Of those 9 starters on each side of the ball, there's 3 of them that aren't with us anymore for various reasons. Different things happen. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Right.
They're not with us anymore, and so we had to have some other guys step up. And so, you know, I think that's a testament to the leadership. And then I'll shout out to the captains. Those guys are exceptional leaders, and they've taken the responsibility to heart. A lot of times you profess to them, we got to do this and we got to do that, and we need to do this and we need to do that. But these guys are doing it. Like, they're doing it. They do it every day. You know, they stay and they make sure the locker room's cleaned up, and they encourage their teammates. And last week in particular, the referee got hammered by one of our Wades, I think. One of our Wades gone wild. And the referee goes down, and like I thought it was going to be a bad deal because I thought I saw his head hit the ground first. And so I'm like, oh no, this is not going to be good.
That turf is not soft, yeah.
And our guys, Derek Whitworth and Cole and Mason or whoever was out there, they kind of surround the referee and kind of get the rest of the guys back. And Derek reaches down and picks up the referee. And so, that just, I'm going to get choked up. That just speaks to who they are as people. And when you have that kind of chemistry and you have 24 seniors, and then we had a couple of guys move in who they embraced and they brought in, and so it's been a great story to get to this point. But I would give it up to that. The experience is probably number one, and then just the fact that they took it upon themselves. We talk about Mason Ray, who when Cade went down against Gonzalez, I mean he just said, "Get on my back, guys, I got you," and he did it, and all the while, he's like at halftime, he's asking me for Mr. Yinsky's phone number so he can find out about Cade, and so those are things that nobody sees that make a difference with these guys, and so it's another thing. Last week, man, I'm wearing the officials out. That's what I get paid to do. My boss actually told me that this week, so I'm glad to hear that. He said that Coach, you get paid a lot of money to yell at those officials, and I'm like, yeah, I do. That's kind of fun. So, but I'm wearing the guy out because they didn't call a intentional grounding call. The guy scrambled outside the box, and he was 20 yards downfield, and he tried to throw it, and it went about 12 yards. So he was 8 yards short of the line of scrimmage, and not that I care about details or anything, but and so I'm screaming at the guy, and he comes over and he's listening, and he's screaming, and I'm screaming, and I turn around, and there's Cade and Mason standing right there, and to calm me, and they're like, "Coach, we got you. Don't worry about it. We got this. Calm down." So I think those are the things that are really cool about this team, is that they want to do this, and now they can actually see it, and they've actually seen the fruits of their labor, being able to win 3 district ball games, and really, we played LBJ good for a while, so I don't know if they really know how good they can be. And so hopefully that experience and the things we've done will take us somewhere where they can really have a good time. So
sure, is exciting. And what a wonderful bunch of gentlemen you got.
They are. They're great kids, and something else. We've done the Player of the Week every week. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it's hard to pick one guy for that deal because they're all doing great stuff around campus, and so that's more for me.
And I think that's epic that you're recognizing what they're doing off the field, and like you said, behind the scenes.
Yeah, so, no question, no doubt about that for sure. But
in fact, we're going to take a break and come back. We'll talk about the Players of the Week from the Taylor game, and man, we got a lot to talk about.
Well, and so you were asking about the playoff deal, and so we'll just what I hope people understand is that's an ongoing fluid situation. And so tonight after the game, after we win, we'll do our after the game stuff, and I hope that my wife will bring me my phone as soon as the game's over so that I can look and see who won in the other district. And so once we get through all that, then we'll come in and we'll do our stuff and our thing, and then we'll get on the phone and we'll start negotiating what is going to happen next week. We will try to play in a neutral site. We might even play at home if that becomes a possibility. You just don't know.
Right.
Both the way the UIL sets it up is there's no rules about. There are rules, but there's no definitive answers about where you play and what time you play, and you have to play on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. You have to play on a neutral site that's not detrimental to one school. Like one school has to drive twice as far as the other school, and so you just negotiate all those things with the other coach and the other athletic director for that district or whatever. And if you agree to it, you just agree to it. And then if you don't, then you flip a coin. I mean, that's what it boils down to. If you don't agree on something, then they put up an alternative and we put up an alternative, and you flip a coin, and so you might lose a flip or whatever. And then we'll come in and we'll do all that, and then we'll start trading film and doing all the stuff you would normally do in a week of a game preparation. So
don't want to look too far ahead, but you're in the playoffs. Would you rather play on a Thursday night or a Friday night?
I like to be routine. Go back to the question about that's a joke, right? 'Cause that's like who I am completely, right? But I like the routine, and so you go back to the question about what sets this team apart is that they've embraced the routine. They've embraced that part of my personality, right? And that's copacetic with us because they've made some changes to it along the way. We had a Wednesday where we had the SAT, and the kids said, "Coach, can we practice before the SAT and finish practice completely and not have to come back after school?" Well, this is the 4th week we've done that. We made that change, and we've done that now 4 weeks in a row because they like it better. We like it better because they get Wednesday afternoon off to rest their legs. So it's one more day for their legs to get back under them. And so I like the consistency of the routine. I certainly like to play on Thursday because
gives you an extra day too.
It gives you an extra day, but it also gives you a chance to go see your possible opponent live. And there's nothing more valuable than that for your coaching staff.
You can watch film all day, but live.
You can watch film all day, but you don't see the little subtleties of the game. You don't see the things they do in warm-up. You can go to a game and you can pick up their snap count, and you can pick up how they do things. So, and in the old days, all of us who've coached as long as I have, that's how we started coaching. We did that as middle school coaches. We had to go do that scouting, and so I want to stay routine. So I don't think we'll play on Thursday, but we could lose a flip if the other team wants to play on Thursday and we lose a flip and whatever. So we like Friday the best. So.
Good stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
Speaking of Friday, is there a football game tonight?
Yes, there is. Yes.
Land passes here at
The
home
Badgers.
tonight. We'll have it on Billies.Live and TexasRadio.net. King and Cayman, some of the best play-by-play dudes in the state.
Outstanding.
I mean, high school football, those guys.
Yeah, they do a great job.
They're a good team. Speaking of teams,
and they know the kids. They know the kids is the.
That's what I love.
They know the kids. They know the kids' personalities. Coach Kamen has them in class. They play basketball. They do whatever. So, and Coach King knows them as well. So, it's really good.
Good stuff. Well, we'll talk about the players of the week from the Taylor game when we come back live at Barefoot Coffee with Coach. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Greg Nebgen with 4N Cattle Company. I want to talk to you a little bit about J4 Trailer and my experience. So I was looking for a new cattle trailer, stopped by, talked to Josh, customized what I wanted. I own a local business. I want to do my business local. Prices were very competitive. I looked at trailers everywhere. They were $1,000 cheaper, if not more. I was going to buy local anyway. They beat everybody in price. And then they even delivered it. J4 Trailer, that's where I got mine.
Texas Hill Country Orthopedic, the official sports medicine provider of the Battlin Billies. Our board-certified and fellowship-trained doctors provide personalized and comprehensive bone and joint care for all ages. We utilize the latest technologies like platelet-rich plasma treatments, and also unique to the Hill Country, we offer anterior hip replacement. Whether you've suffered a traumatic injury to your shoulder or are just tired of dealing with arthritis pain in your knees, Texas Hill Country Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here to help.
My name is Tammy, and I am a Value Med customer. The things that I love the most are the convenience, the speed, and the friendliness. Annette and Betty at the front window are always so friendly. I have called Bill, even Matt, for just personal questions regarding prescriptions or medication. Their helpfulness, willingness to spend the time with me is something you don't get at the larger pharmacies. I just think they are amazing.
Security State Bank and Trust. We've been building the communities we call home since 1941. That includes supporting our students, teachers, and schools. Behind each student is a community investing in what matters most. Security State Bank and Trust, proud supporters of Battlin Billies sports. We're rooting for your success on and off the field. Go Billies! Celebrating our 80th year of helping build the communities we call home. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Dutchman's Meat Market in Fredericksburg is the place for premium meats. Not only can you find the best cuts of meat, but Dutchman's has fresh sandwiches for lunch, a variety of snack sticks, multiple jerkies, and dried sausage. Dutchman's also has a large assortment of rubs, spices, and sauces for all your meats. So go see Dutchman's at 1609 East Main in Fredericksburg, or call in an order at 830-997-5693 or online at dutchmansmarket.com.
We're back.
We are.
We're having some fun, man.
Oh, man.
We're having some fun.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's a great day. Game day. Here we go. Let's do it.
I'm crying. You got me crying over here. Okay.
Players of the
I'll just let you have it.
Yeah, Players of the Week for the Taylor game. Awesome deal, like JV. They only had one team, so we combined our teams. The kids played really well. Everybody got to play in both games. We had a big win, or in the game. And so our JV Players of the Week, Joel Villa and Colton Aiken, two kids who've gotten it before, do a really good job for us. And, it's cool. We'll talk about what they did last night, but today I got to talk to them about the playoffs, and they played their last game last night, and I got to talk to them about, okay, guys, now you're on varsity now, right? So because we're in the playoffs, you get to transition to varsity before next year, right? So now practice as a varsity player, get to be part of the varsity travel regimen, all the stuff. So it's exciting for those guys to get to do that. As long as they come to practice, they get to travel with us. We don't make them travel, but if they want to travel with us, they can. And then our 9th grade Players of the Week, number 4, Brooks Immel, Cole's little brother, does a great job, great kid, works hard, plays quarterback. Does a really good job with that as well. And then Caden Coons, who's gotten it before, is our Freshman Player of the Week. Another great kid on that group, and really proud of that group. We'll talk about what they did last night, but they finished really well relative to where they started and where they've done in the past. So really proud of them. Our Scout Team Player of the Week is Rowdy Vick, who is another kid on the JV that does a great job and gives us a good look. And then I want to shout out to our Goat of the Week, Quattro Rodriguez. Great kid, senior. Talked a lot about these seniors. Here's a kid who is student council president. He's president of the NHS. He's the student representative to the school board. And last Thursday night, because he does all these great things, he got the pleasure, or displeasure, if you will, to spend like 2.5 hours with a bunch of adults on the strategic planning committee for the whole district. So I'm on that committee as well with the executive cabinet, and I show up to the meeting, and there's Quattro sitting in the meeting with us, and we're talking about the long-range plans of the school district. And so it was really cool.
That's outstanding.
Number one, he gave up his opportunity to be at team dinner and willing to do that to help leave a legacy. Most seniors, they're just ready to get out, right, and go on with their life. And here's this kid who's working extra hard to leave a legacy for the school district and help in the planning of the school district. And he's done a really good job. He's been on the school board for a couple of years now, and he's done an exceptional job. And in fact, this year, when we had convocation outside, he was one of the student leaders of convocation. And so he got to speak in front of the whole entire FISD faculty. So really proud of him. He's a great kid, and he's just a great leader. And so we're really proud of those guys for being Players of the Week. Shout
All
out
right,
to them. Yeah,
good.
No doubt.
Let's hear it
No
for
doubt.
him. Yeah. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Tonight.
The Badgers.
Tonight.
Got the Badgers.
Lampasas,
for sure,
Badgers,
Yeah.
Billy Stadium.
Yeah.
Playing for a 2 seed.
Yeah.
How does Lampasas look? Let's start on their offense.
Well, similar to LBJ, they graduate a bunch of guys that are really good players. They're coming off of a three-year run. They've beaten us the last 3 years. The first year they beat us. They advanced to the 3rd round or whatever. They beat us. We came back at their place. They were ahead a bunch at halftime. We came roaring back. We ended up losing 47-45. We kick an onside kick and we don't get it, and they run out the clock. They go to the playoffs. They win a couple of playoff games, and that was kind of the start of their run. Then the next year, we play them at the end of the season for the district title with the 2018 team and 2019 team, excuse me.
That's back when Ace Whitehead was there, right?
Yeah, and Ace was there. And of course, Ace was there for forever. He started for him all 4 years. And so, we play them for the district title. We have a chance to win the game at the end. We kind of fall behind. We make a couple of big mistakes, and so they win the game. And then they play in the semifinals that year, and they lose to a really good Carthage team who won state. And really, they had a chance to beat Carthage that year. So Coach Rogers done a good job. And then last year, we go over there and we lay an egg, and they beat the crap out of us, and not real happy about that. And it's kind of a bad way to end your season and all that stuff. And so, they're a good program.
That's a little incentive for tonight.
Well, and you're looking at them and you're thinking, well, they graduated a bunch of kids because Ace graduated, and they had several wide receivers that were really good, and some defenders and some O-linemen, and so they had a really good team. But when you get to that point, you just reload because their JV was pretty good. The JV quarterback was good. They had a kid named Brister that's been on the varsity for 3 or 4 years as well on defense, and now he's playing offense. So to answer your question, they look really good on offense. They run a spread set. They'll get in 2 back. They'll get in 1 back. They'll spread you out. They'll get in a heavy set. They'll move you around. And Coach Rogers was an offensive coordinator at North Shore when they won the state title, and he's from Lampasas, so he came back home to be the head coach, and he's installed that offense, and it's very similar to our offense. It's a kind of a power run offense, but they like to throw the ball all over the place, and they like to chunk it deep, and the quarterback's a big tall kid that can run a little bit, that can throw it, and so they're very balanced on offense. I think they want to run it more so this year. They want to run it than they have in the past. Ace, man, he liked to chunk it all over the field. He liked to throw it deep, and so I think they want to run it a little more, but they can still throw it. They're gonna drop back and they're gonna throw the little dink and dunk passes, and then all of a sudden they're gonna send somebody deep and try to chunk it deep and get behind you. So we definitely got our work cut out for us from a defensive perspective. Nothing ever changes in that deal. It's about your assignment and your alignment and execution and all the stuff you got to do. And those kids are communicating really well, and so hopefully they'll take care of that. But they're really good on offense. They scored a lot of points. They scored 70 points against Taylor. And so, anybody that scores 70 points, and they scored 42 against OBJ. Now, they gave up 88. OBJ scored 88. So I don't know what that means. What I know is they can score points, and we got to stop them. And so that's the bottom line. So,
exactly.
So yeah, they're a good team for sure.
What about their defensive scheme?
Defensively, they line up in an odd front with the 3 down linemen, 1 on the center, and then 2 that move in and out on the guards, outside the guards, on the inside of the tackle, that kind of thing. 2 outside linebackers that play defensive end, or they play in the secondary. They move around based on your formation. Going to try to fill the box when they can.
Do they blitz any?
They blitz. Yeah, they move around a lot. They run man coverage behind it. They like to run man coverage, which is kind of their thing, and they don't get out of it very much. They do a good job of teaching their secondary players, and they play really good man coverage. And so when you play man coverage, that lets you void some other guys to the box rather than trying to bracket some guys or try to double cover some guys in some zone looks. So they can put more people in the box because they play man coverage. And so shout out to Taylor. I thought Taylor had a really good scheme against us. It's a similar defense, and it's what people that run this defense have done to us going all the way back to Wimberley. And even Bernie did some of it. They don't run the same scheme, but they did some of it. They bring their safeties down really close to the line of scrimmage. And so they've got their 5 defensive linemen, the 2 defensive ends, the 3 inside guys, the 2 linebackers in the box, and then they bring their safeties down. Like last week against Taylor, the linebackers were at like 4 yards, and the safeties were like at 6. And so, that's 9 people in the box.
Right.
So they're saying we got to stop the run. And so it's tough. It makes it tough on play calling. You got to be able to play action pass. You got to be able to find the voids. You got to be able to make them get out of man coverage, or at least make them give you some off man coverage so you can run some things underneath them. But they're really good. Like I said, the Brister kid, he's playing a lot of offense this year, but he is an exceptional defender. And so he's one of their linebackers, and their defensive line gets off the ball and runs the ball, and they're really good on both sides of the ball. So we're gonna have to play. We're gonna have to get after it. And
special teams,
special
are they
teams
known for any trickery or anything like that?
They're gonna do solid special teams, and if you give them a chance, last week I think they blocked a punt. That was against Taylor. But they're going to do solid work in the kicking game. Their kicker can put it all over the place. They can kick it deep. They can kick it short. They can pooch it wherever they want. The punter, sometimes the quarterback's going to punt it, kind of like we do. They're going to quick kick it and punt it out of an offensive formation, or they're going to actually put a punt team out there and line up and try to punt it. So yeah, they're just solid. Coach does a good job of coaching them up. He'd like to, 2 platoon them if he can, but just like us, you got to play your best kids both ways and keep them going. But they are certainly a good team. I don't think they expected to lose to Canyon Lake last week, so they got a little bit of chip on their shoulder, I think. And and they've beaten us 3 years in a row, so I'm sure they're thinking they're going to come in here and just take care of us, and we'll see.
Let them think that. They can think that.
Yeah, no doubt.
But that's not how it's going to go.
No doubt, for sure. Yeah.
Well, how did the sub-varsity come out?
Sub-varsity finished the season last night. I mentioned that. Our freshmen lost. It was a close game at halftime, and then they kind of gave away some points at the end, and it kind of skewed the score. It was 40-something to 18, I think, or 13. But played really well. Really proud of those kids. They finished the season. If you count just the games they played, they're 4-4. They played a combined game with the JV last week, so we're counting that as a win. So that's 5-4, and then they had one team forfeit. So as far as I'm concerned, they're 6-4.
Yeah, right on.
That's their record, and that's a great record for a freshman bunch that had faced a lot of adversity. A lot of the kids got hurt. We had just had a lot of kids in and out. We had to deal with grades. We had to deal with a whole bunch of stuff. And so learning how to do that and do their job and do what you want them to do, really proud of the way they finished the season. And we will look at a couple of those kids to come practice with us as we get into the playoffs, and so we can get them a early look at seeing if they can do something on the varsity maybe next year as sophomores. And that's one of the advantages of being in the playoffs, is that you get extra weeks of practice. And so you got to be deliberate about how you utilize that practice time. Your practice time is 100% utilized for that playoff game, but if you can get a look at some of those younger kids while you're doing that on the scout team or whatever, then it benefits your program for the next year. And then the JV came up with a big win last night on the road at Lampasas and finished their season 7-3. 2 years in a row, our JV's been 7-3. They lost to Bernie, Wimberley, and Canyon Lake, and so they won all the rest of their games. And again, a whole lot of adversity. The thing about the JV is you pull a guy up. I mean, they were off to a roll. We swept Kerrville, freshman and JV, week 2, and then the very next week we pulled a quarterback off of the JV, and now they have to reshuffle who's playing quarterback and who's doing what, and then we put him back, and it's just this whole thing of when you're on the JV, it's who are we going to have this week and what is it going to look like. And so shout out to those coaches and those kids for being resilient and just doing a good job. Really proud of the way they finished the season, and looking forward to them being part of this whole playoff experience.
Yeah, that's going to be great. That's going to be fantastic. Yeah. No doubt. We're going to take one more break, come back, and man, we've got some fall sports activity. This is going to be fun coming up.
Yeah, we got some good stuff going on.
We got some good stuff happening.
No doubt.
We'll talk about that when we come back.
As Fredericksburg celebrates 175 years, Arrowhead Bank is celebrating almost 100 years of serving the people of the Texas Hill Country. Our goal has been the same since we opened in Fredericksburg 20 years ago, to combine the relationship banking of yesterday with the technology of today for a better brand of banking. Arrowhead Bank is proud to support our students in all their endeavors, athletic and academic, and we're excited to celebrate their successes this year. Billy Pride, Eberalice, member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 423091.
Fredericksburg Veterinary Center takes care of animals of all sizes, little bitty small ones and great big tall ones. They'll treat your furry friends just like it was their own. Doctors East and Eckert can do all sorts of stuff to help them, like x-rays and blood work, surgeries and sonograms. They'll even work on their teeth. And if your animal is sick or something, they'll even go to your ranch or house to help them. Give them a call or visit them online at fbgvetcenter.com.
At Fredericksburg Eye Associates, ophthalmologist Drs. Ann Plinicky and Charles Cohn provide comprehensive medical and surgical eye care. At their state-of-the-art facility off Highway 87, they use the latest equipment for everything from routine eye exams to monitoring macular degeneration. Cataract procedures include the latest advances in lens design, allowing more freedom from glasses than ever before. Fredericksburg Eye Associates, 997-6535, online at fbgi.com.
Do you have a good head coach to draw up a play for your retirement plan? Have you done the practice drills necessary to produce a good portfolio? If not, contact Joseph Financial Partners. They will sit you down in front of the chalkboard and walk you through all the X's and O's. They'll set up your offense and your defense so you're prepared for the good days and the bad days. If you're not sure about your coach or the plays that you're running, contact Joseph Financial Partners, 830-997-4763 or online at josephfinancialpartners.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial member FINRA.
For a family-operated, community-focused business that supports all men and women in the United States military and first responders, think Toch Well Service. For all your well repairs and service after drilling, think Toch Well Service. For water pump installation in windmill, solar pump, jet, submersible pump, and pressure tank service, think Toch Well Service. They've been serving Fredericksburg and the Texas Hill Country since 2002. Call 830-997-2413. License number 4502 KLP.
All right, yeah, we're back. Coffee with Coach, live at Barefoot, live and in living color. HD, baby, HD. I'm HD Rose. I mean JD Rose. Sorry. No.
Got a timeout, I think.
Rob Harris on the group chat on YouTube asked this question. Just how many hours a day does the team spend watching game video in preparation?
Yeah, so there's a multi-layered answer. How about that? Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, the team watches film in preparation or of practice. So we spend about an hour and 15 minutes on Monday-ish, 30 minutes on each side of the ball, and 15 minutes on special teams, give or take. On Tuesday, back it off, don't watch any more special teams, but about 24 minutes or 22 minutes of each offense and defense on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we back it off a little bit more, and they go about 24 minutes total, about 12 to 16 minutes of film on both sides of the ball. And then on Saturdays, when we watch the lion's share of film with the players, they come in at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock for treatment, 10 o'clock for film. They watch about 50 minutes of their side of the ball at the same time. So most of the guys that watch defense are over here watching defense, and the guys that watch offense are over here watching offense. They flip halfway if they play both ways. The rest of them stay where they are if they just play one way. And then they come all together with me, and we watch about 10 or 15 minutes of the special teams. And we watch the game from the night before. We make corrections. Each kid gets some sort of feedback from their coach. They get a piece of paper that says, this is how many plays you played, this is how many tackles you made, this is how many whatever, and they review all that during the film on Saturday. So that's cool. What a player kind of goes through.
Good question.
It's a great question because I don't think people understand what the commitment these kids have. You know, I think a lot of people think that we just show up tonight on Friday night.
Well, that's like Billies.Live. They think they just turn their TV on. It's 6 hours.
We just show up and roll the ball out and blow a whistle, and we run around for 48 minutes and whatever. No, there's hours and hours and hours and hours of preparation. And I'll shout out to my coaches. The coaches do quadruple that, right? So Saturday morning before the players get there, the coaches are there at 8 a.m. They watch film all the way until 10 o'clock when the kids get there. That's when they're comparing notes and counting tackles and doing all the things that they do, making their notes so they can share with the kids. So that's 2 hours before, and then the kids are there for an hour and 30 minutes or whatever. And then the rest of the day, we're watching film of the next opponent, and they're breaking down film, and each coach is doing something different. On offense, one coach is looking for the secondary coverages, and one coach is looking for when the linebackers blitz, and one coach is looking for when the defensive front moves. And so they spend all day watching all the tapes of the other opponent. We typically get 3 to 5 tapes of the opponent, and so we put them all together, and you can sort them and all of that stuff, and then they watch. You know, Coach Smith is in charge of watching this one thing, and he spends all day watching that stuff, and then they come back at the end of Saturday and they report back to Coach Huff and Coach Gibbs or Coach Wilder, and they discuss the things they saw, and then they kind of break and go home, because by then we're all vegetables or fried or whatever, because we're all tired. We're watching film, falling asleep, and of course, and I'm doing the same thing with the special teams. I've got the special teams all broken down in my office, and I'm going through the film and taking care of that. And then we come back on Sunday after church, and we kind of put it all together into a game plan.
And I got to say, God bless high school football coaches' wives. Right? I mean, because they're never home.
No question.
Not during the football season.
You're right,
but that's
about
okay.
That. Well,
I mean, I guess it's okay.
It is certainly a labor of love, and we all love what we do, and we love doing it. We wouldn't do it if we didn't love it the way we do. But it is definitely a lot of work that we put in, and I don't think people often understand that. But once they get all together, then we spend the rest of the week. I personally, I watch all those games again, because I spent all weekend working on the special teams. Then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I go back and I watch all their offensive plays and all their defensive plays, so that I can have an idea when we talk about this and when we're calling plays tonight, how we do that. So, and the other coaches do the same thing, because you worry that you might have missed something. Did we miss something in those moments when we were falling asleep at 4:30 in the afternoon after a late road trip from Taylor? We got home last week about 12:30, 12:45, and we were back up there at 8 a.m. And so, it's definitely a lot of work that goes into it, for sure. It's not just showing up and running plays, I can promise you that.
Good question, Mr. Harris.
It's a great question. I love it.
Good question,
awesome.
Rob.
Good stuff.
All right. We talked about a plethora. Is that a word?
Yeah.
A plethora of activity.
Yeah.
I just amazed myself.
Yeah,
Where
you
did that come
Big
from?
words.
I thought I made a word up, but
Yeah, you did.
no.
No.
But there is a lot of activity going.
Yeah, so first and foremost, we'll talk cross country. I had a huge send-off for the cross country girls going
Today?
to state.
Tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow.
They run at 10 a.m. at Old Settlers Park in the 4A cross country state meet, and they have a great chance to gain a medal. And Taylor Grona, as an individual, has a great chance to gain a medal as an individual as well. And so we're exceptionally proud of them. I can't wait to go watch them run. We're going to go watch them run tomorrow and then hustle back and get ready for our playoff game. But what a great send-off they had at the end of the pep rally. All the football kids and the drill team and everybody that was at the pep rally made a spirit line for them. And the cheerleaders did a great job getting them all set up and ready to go. So we had a send-off for them. And then the band came out and played, and did all that stuff. So it was really cool to do that for them after the pep rally. And
hats off to Coach Aldrich and the coaches.
No
other
question.
coaches.
Coach Aldrich and Coach Kamer. Coach Kamer, the softball coach, is the cross-country assistant. So they did a great job, and we're anxious to see what they're going to do. And then shout out to volleyball last night. Won the area championship.
Man, that was
it's just,
fun.
I couldn't be more proud of Coach Raymer, his staff, and those girls. And so, tough
like I
year.
said on the broadcast, when teams start to peak, look out. And that, you know what I'm saying? Look out, Wimberley. I mean, I'm telling you right now, they are playing lights out. Well, Navarro, they were lights out. I mean, that was, to me, that was lights out, baby. Last night, but they're keeping their composure so good.
Here's the deal.
That's how I see it. But
it's been a tough year for them all year. They struggled. They struggled to have some chemistry, and they had injuries, and there was all of these things that had befallen the team, and we'll just call it all adversity, right? And they go into that last game and they have to beat Bandera to get in, and then they have to beat them again. Mm-hmm. They have to beat them to get a playoff with them. Then they have to play off with them, and then if they win, they get in. And at some point along the way, I spoke to Janisa Quay in the training room, and I said, Janisa, the greatest thing about athletics is the redemptive quality of it, because you've had all of this adversity during these previous 5 or 6 weeks, and if you go win that game, then you got a chance to go win another one. And then you got and then after you win 2 or 3 of those games, you forget about all that bad stuff that was going on.
Right.
And so, and that's kind of the deal. And that's what they've done.
Well, and adversity makes you stronger, even in life.
No question. And I don't.
If I didn't have hurdles to jump in life and everything was peachy, I wouldn't appreciate the good things.
No doubt. So they're doing really well. They're going to be playing in the 3rd round. So here you go from a team that 3 weeks ago.
I got goosebumps,
man. From a team that 3 weeks ago that you're not sure if they're going to make the playoffs, and they're not sure, and everybody's kind of not feeling good about it or whatever. And now they're in the 3rd round of the playoffs.
Right on.
Hold on, what just happened? But the thing that's so powerful about what we do is you watch those girls and they're having fun. They're smiling, and they're exhibiting great team chemistry, and they're putting all their personal things aside to be great teammates. And that's the difference in this whole deal. And so shout out to them for that.
Clint's here, Pastor Clint's here, and he does. You put together those wonderful videos. You work your tail off doing that. But I wanted to tell you personally, Clara is a joy to watch. She is just just a lot of energy, and she just has fun out there. So I just wanted to, since you're here, I wanted to tell you that she is such a joy to watch. And the rest of the girls, I mean, they all are. But
just shout out to them for that. They're going to play a 3rd round playoff regional quarterfinal game. It'll be Monday or Tuesday. We're not sure about details yet, but we'll get those out as quick as we can, and they'll have a chance to go to the next round. They're going to match up probably against Wimberley. I'm pretty sure that's who won last night. I hadn't seen the.
I spaced out a minute. Do we know when and where, or did you already say that?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. I was. I
don't want to give out any false information.
We don't know where yet or anything.
And similar, people get frustrated about that, and I understand, but we're not going to publish anything until we know, because we don't know until everybody agrees. And we've had it where people agree to one thing, and then we get ready to publish it, and then they change their mind.
Yeah.
And so you take 2 coaches and 2 ADs and 2 communities, and you think you should play here and whatever, and then all of a sudden something changes, and you can't have that gym, or you can't have this gym, or whatever. So we don't ever publicize those things until we know for certain this is what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. So yeah, and then. Shout out to our swim team. They're doing a great job. They're swimming again tomorrow, and they're improving every week, getting better, and they just do a great job. I'm so proud of the program. They've grown over the years, and just doing a great job getting ready for that season. Their season doesn't really kick off until as we get closer to the end of the semester, and then early in January and February, where they go to their district meet and then their regional meet and so on. So they're doing really good. Boys and girls basketball we talked about, both rolling and getting it going. The girls scrimmaged Tuesday night. The boys will scrimmage soon, and before you know it, we'll start hosting basketball games. So moving right into winter sports. Every week, shout out to our cheerleaders for our pep rally today. They do an exceptional job. And shout out to them during the game. Their spirit, the things they do, they just epitomify the Billy Pride Eber-Alice, and Coach Wilder and Coach Aguirre are doing a great job with them. And they were at the volleyball game last night and did a really good job keeping the crowd in the game and all of that. So lots of stuff going on. Shout out to our Pride of the Hill Country band.
Yes.
Who, they're performing at 9 a.m. Next Wednesday.
And what a performance.
State.
I love it.
It's an awesome performance. If people haven't seen it, then they need to make sure they see it, because it's really, really good. And they did really, really well. They finished third in the area round is what they call it, which is advances them to state, and did a great job. And so, lots of great things going on the high school campus right now. I'm just proud to be able to talk about it and celebrate all these kids and all the things we got going on.
Billy Nation be smiling, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm smiling. Are we all smiling?
We keep racking up those Lone Star Cup points. That's what we're
right
trying
on.
to do. So,
right on.
So anyway.
Well, Coach, God bless you.
Thank
Y'all just get out there tonight and take care of business. Just do what you're doing.
We're going to do our job. So
stay the course.
Today my quote was, "There's not a whole lot to say." Right? It's not about talking. It's about just going and doing. There's 3 things I tell them every week. It sounds mundane. It sounds whatever, cliche, whatever. Do your job, be a great teammate, and do it for something bigger than yourself.
Amen.
And they believe that, and they do it. And so let's go do it and get after it and be able to face the adversity that's going to happen. There's always adversity in a football game. It's a roller coaster, and you got to not get too high when things are going good, not get too low when things go bad, and just get after it. So looking forward to it, and it's going to be a great weekend.
You betcha. Let's pack that stadium tonight, but if you can't make it, we got you covered at Billies.Live, and got people watching all over the world, which is great.
Yeah, no, it's great.
It's going to be fun. And it'll be on TexasRadio.net if you're driving or whatever. You just want to hear the audio. That's going to do it. Paige, are we done?
We're done.
Awesome.
Producer
Thank
Paige says,
Billies.Live.
Thank
you guys.
That's a tank, baby. All right, hold on. Where are we going? Miller, you want me to pitch to you?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Softball pitch. I'm not a...
Okay.
Yeah, I'm softball.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Oh, look at that. Strike.
Ball outside.